our chief update. Normally we have the midday replay sponsored by Gray, but we have moved that for Fridays. That'll be at 10:30 a.m. So I did it earlier this morning. But right now is our chief update. Unfortunately, Chief Mark Hill was not able to join us in the studio this week, but we are joined by Councillor Nathan Wright, who will be giving us all the same information with the same pizzazz as Chief Mark Hill would. So Nathan, thank you for coming in today.
Thanks, Josh, and Sago and Scannell to Six Nations. I hope everyone's having a great afternoon on this snowy May day. And as always, I hope you and your families are safe and remain well. I really want to acknowledge everyone. I know we raise up our healthcare workers, frontline people in essential services, but in reality, everyone is on the front line as we find new and adaptive ways of living. Some refer to this as the new normal. We are always thinking about the community and how we can help and support your efforts. Despite the challenges, the ups and downs that we all have, so we acknowledge you, don't forget to acknowledge yourselves. And remember that we are all in this together. With this in mind, I have a few updates I'd like to share. As it relates to bread and cheese, the elected council has heard the pros and cons, but understand the community does not have the context of what this is. Remember, we are working based on a new normal. All of the ads have been correct in the sense that bread and cheese is canceled as we know it to be. The parade, the vendors, the rides, the large gatherings, the long lineups, the packed arena, and the many, many volunteers we have cutting the bread and cheese on a yearly basis for the community. That bread and cheese is canceled because we will not jeopardize our community, but let's be clear, no slice of bread or a hunk of cheese is worth spreading COVID-19. But in light of the new normal, we have strategized on what we can do. We have heard a lot of the sadness about the cancellation, as many, many of our people in our community really do look forward to this celebration. We wanted to be able to do something positive. So we are going to bring the bread and cheese to you. Given the ongoing health and safety guidelines still in effect by public health and the emergency control group, we have come up with the following. First, we're going to adhere to the health and safety measures, including physical distancing, face masks, gloves, the utilization of sanitizer, and we will also adhere that there will be no large gatherings that weekend. Number two, we will continue to work with Environmental Health Officer Peter Hill, Oswego Public Health, and our own Health Services Director to ensure that we are adhering to the proper guidelines as we bring bread and cheese to you. So we will be delivering bread and cheese directly to your home. Volunteers from the Agricultural Society as well as the Farmers Association are generously donating their time and equipment to provide trucks, trailers, so we can travel throughout the community for this delivery. The trailers will allow us to be open and give us enough space to practice physical distancing ourselves from one another. In addition to this, Cool Kids has generously donated their refrigerated vans to store the bread and cheese as we travel along the route alongside our wagons. And just remember, nobody wants melted cheese. We all have some additional volunteers, including the Six Nations Youth Council. Each household will receive one loaf of bread, and that will be bagged, along with one 2.5-pound block of cheese that will be individually wrapped. I also want to stress that this is one per home. We cannot leave multiple loaves or blocks at each household. In order to get your bread and cheese, you must have a bucket, basket, or box, preferably a cooler, or some kind of a container at the end of your laneway so you and your family members, and we're asking that a family member be in close proximity to this container. We will not leave bread and cheese unless we see a container and a person that the container belongs to. We are asking that you please ensure that your animals and pets are taken care of and secured so they do not eat the bread and cheese before you do. And also that the people delivering are not bitten or attacked by your pets. We're asking for the community's cooperation in this. More details will come, but we are planning to start the route at 9 a.m. in Oswego on May 18th, 2020, and we will do our best to advertise the route on an ongoing basis using social media and other forms of communication. So watch out and listen to our social media feeds and listen to the radio stations as we will attempt to do live feeds as much as we can throughout that day. We're also asking community to decorate your lawns and your basket and put up signs to honor the frontline workers and essential services that are doing their best on a daily basis to bring the services to you. We'd love to see what you come up with creatively, and we'll be taking pictures throughout the day. This is all about community spirit. It's about lifting the community up. As a little added bonus, both Councillors Michelle Bombery and Councillor Gwendolyn Johnson are donating 2,500 vegetable plants as a small token. One plant will be given to each household as well. Any remaining plants that are left over will go to the Community Gardens Project and our sustenance program. Please keep in mind, this might not be perfect, but we're doing our best to bring bread and cheese to you. We also understand that many of our members who live outside of the community will miss out this year, but we're asking for your understanding. Please do not gather in large closed groups, and please maintain social distancing throughout that weekend. Please remember, 6 feet at Six Nations is still in effect. In regards to an update on the new vehicle IDs, we have set today, March 8th, as the deadline for everyone to exchange their paper passes for the new ID card. We saw a lot of the community members this past weekend and received tremendous feedback, and we thank everyone for that. Despite the long lines, your patience was very much appreciated. We want to ensure that the hotline is still up and running and will remain in effect until the end of May. So we encourage community members, if you do have issues or concerns with the checkpoints, to please call that, and we will work with Nighthawk Security as well as HCCC to work through all of these issues and concerns moving forward. Final 2 updates, I just want to talk quickly about the Health and Safety Code of Conduct. We are working with the Emergency Control Group to come up with a phased approach of reopening the community. This includes a health and safety code of conduct for businesses to adhere to. I just want to clarify that we continue to work with businesses to come up with this health and safety code and conduct, as well as the HCCC as this goes forward. Please be on the lookout in the coming weeks to ensure that the proper information is put out to the community as it relates to this phased-in approach going forward. We want to make sure we're doing this right and doing this in mind with the public safety advice coming from Oswego Public Health as well as Six Nations Health Services. In relation to the May 30th extensions, just want to clarify that the community checkpoints and community closures will be extended until May 30th. We continue to update this on a daily basis, and we'll continue to provide updates on a weekly basis to the community as it relates to the closure. Finally, as it relates to the water delivery and the sanitization programs at Public Works, those have also been extended till May 30th, and this also includes the Six Nations housing loan relief as well as the rentals. Finally, be on the lookout for the next edition of the Six Nations newsletter, which will include COVID-19 financial report, upcoming initiatives in the community, including an update on bread and cheese, and more detailed information on the checkpoints so everyone comes from the same understanding. Going into this weekend, I want to also wish all of our mothers a happy Mother's Day on Sunday. We lift you up and continue to honor you on a daily basis, but we'll do so even more on Sunday. Stay tuned, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, stay home. Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor Nathan Wright. That was our weekly chief update. And if you're looking for more information, make sure you're always visiting Jukasa Radio on social media, as we will be posting updates